Well, hello everyone, and Merry Christmas to all my subscribers and viewers. I hope you're having a fabulous holiday for 2020. I'm making pie crust today for 4 different pies. I like to use 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of shortening. And I like to just crumble that together. And then when I have it all crumbled together, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of very cold water. This water has been in the little bottle in the refrigerator, so it's extremely cold. I find it easier to make your pie crust when your water is very cold. And I'm going to mix that with my hands. And I want a good consistency without really working the dough too much. Now sometimes you have to add a couple more tablespoons of water. It just depends on your flour consistency. And so I'm going to mix that all together before we roll it out. But be careful not to mix it too much. See how it all of a sudden just comes together. Now I'm doing 4 pies today. Our recipe is a double crust, so it would make a double crusted pie. So then I flatten it out, I'm rounding it out. And when I get the shape that I want, then I'll begin to roll it. You want a little bit of flour, but not too much flour. And then you're just going to start rolling it out. I got so much flour on my sweatshirt. It was just crazy today between pies and cookies. But it was a fun day of baking. See, just a little bit of dusting, push most of it off, and then you're just going to stretch that out to the 12-inch mark. I like to fold it and then fold it again before it goes into the pie pan. So one's in the pie pan, and we're going to do our other 3 pie pans just the same. Now we are making peach pie today. 1 peach pie. We're going to put the top on it. And we are making 2 apple pies today. Same process. We're going to put our lids on there. Our other pie today is a cranberry lemon pie, and I'm going to show you how to make that in just a little teeny bit. First, I like to just turn over my crust so that they go together. And that's a fast process. And we're just folding it underneath all the way around our pie. When I'm ready with that, I'm going to use my fork to crump those 2 layers of pie crust together. And it's a very fast process, but if it starts to stick at all, just dip your fork in a little bit of flour and then continue on. When I get all the way around, then we're going to have to vent our pie. And so I just take a sharp knife and cut some designs. It doesn't really matter, whatever designs you'd like to do in your pie crust. Then I'm going to take some more of that very cold water and rub it over my entire crust. And I want it to brown slightly, but not very much. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on there too. At Christmas time, that's always a fun thing to do. Then the next step that we're going to do is we're going to do strips of aluminum foil, hook them together, and crunch them around the edges of the pie. That way our edges won't brown too quickly. And the aluminum foil will stay on the pie until the last 15 minutes, and I'll take it off. So we have a cup of sugar and 3/4 teaspoons of salt. To that, I'm adding a tablespoon of lemon zest. Yep, and that's right off the tree. I'm going to mix that around. Then I need a tablespoon cornmeal plus 1.5 teaspoons of cornmeal. To that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of salt. And then we're going to whisk that together. Now this is my sister's recipe, so I hope I can make it as good as she makes it. In this bowl, I have heavy cream, 1/2 cup. Then to that, we're going to add 4 large eggs. We're going to take our whisk We're going to start to mix those. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, now the butter isn't too hot, so it's not going to cook the eggs at all. And I need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You guys know I left my vanilla in Wyoming. Still, haven't found one that's a good one yet. But we're using this. Then we're going to fold that into our bowl that has our sugar and flour and everything. That I baked the pie shell for about 10 minutes on the top rack. And I also put the cranberries in there. Now I'm just going to dump those cranberries in there, stir that in there. Now here's our pie shell, and we're going to dump that in there. And the pie shell and the ingredients are going back into the oven. I'm going to bake that in the oven at 325 degrees for 60 to 70 minutes. I want it to be able to just jiggle, but I want the filling to have solidified. The last 5 minutes of it, I'm going to increase the temperature to 350 degrees.